Hello. Um, Here I am. I got my chemo yesterday. I still have my drip line in. Go into my fanny pack for one more day. Get that out tomorrow. But got some information, so I thought I would pass it on. Um, my vocal cords get disturbed by the chemo. All my nerves do. I feel like a little shaky in my hands and almost like an anxious feeling, even though I don't feel anxious on the inside, but like my body feels anxious. I burp a lot, a little bit of an upset stomach, but really not so bad. In fact, I think it's better than last time. I did the icing on my hands, minimal cold sensitivity. I mean, I was holding stuff out of the freezer today, and after, 5 or 10 seconds, it was a little unbearable. Um, that might be true for people that aren't on chemo. I don't know. But anyway, when you're on chemo, you can't even grab something from the fridge and hold it for 2 seconds. So something out of the freezer for 5 or 10 tells me it's working great. And I can wash my hands in cold water. I couldn't even do that before. The first bite syndrome seems to be mostly better. I don't think I did anything different to help that. Um, no sores on the roof of my mouth, which is good. um, got my tumor markers back for my um, last test. So that's one of the newses that I want to get through. So for those of you that aren't computers, um, you might not remember the last 8 results that I got. But anyway, the liver tumor marker that they check is the alpha fetoprotein tumor marker. And I'm reading it off the other screen, so I'm looking over there. Um, and it's supposed to be between 2 and 8.78. Um, And when I first got my tumor markers checked, it was about a month after. No, I guess it was the day I was diagnosed. A month after my annual physical, it was at 266. Okay, so that's showing you have cancer. Um, a month later, when I was at Cleveland, it was at 336. So going up pretty rapidly, like a 50% increase, and that's still without any treatment. So it was going up pretty quick and at a really high level. When I started chemo, it went to the first, after my first chemo session, it was at 2,143. Okay. And so we talked about that, how that looks bad because it's going up, but it actually with somebody with such a large tumor as mine, it's kind of good news because it means it's dying and releasing those tumor markers. It hasn't actually gone up 10 times because I started chemo, right? There's nothing about chemo that would cause rapid growth. So it was actually a good sign, but it's a little bit of a confusing good sign because you want it to go down eventually, but it can go up at first. So it went all the way up to 2,143. That was on 3/14, March 14th. Then I did another test on March 29th, and it was 4,600. So almost doubled again, actually more than doubled again. Um, again, implying cell death. And the reason why it's implying cell death, not worse cancer, is because of my symptoms of the cancer itself were abated. No more shoulder pain, no more side pain, bigger appetite, more color in my skin, all this stuff, better heart rate. So it shows that it's not really growing. It's I'm gonna cut my hair today. It's getting a little long. Um anyway, then on 4/11, it went down to 4,400. Didn't go down a lot, right? From 4,634 to 4,400, but it showed that it might have hit that top and started going down. So the doctor said that was good news. And then when I just got my numbers back yesterday, they are at 3,600. So they are back to a number um, that probably I haven't had in over a month. So looks like they are continuing to drop, and 3,500 this time, and maybe back to under 2,000 next time, and keep dropping. Uh, Eventually, want it under 8. And I think I've said this before in videos, but the half-life is about 4 days. So, to get down to 8 would take months and months and months and months to get rid of all of it, even if I had zero cancer at all, because it's a protein. It's not an actual measure of cancer; it's a measure of a protein. That's my cat's butt. But it's great. It's great that it's going down. It looks like we've passed the hump of it going up, which means either a majority of the cancer is dead, or um, at least more is dead than was before because it's not releasing it, or the treatment isn't working as well. But we won't talk about that. All right, and it doesn't seem likely that that's it. And then the other protein marker, the other tumor marker that they check is the CEA. Okay, CEA stands for carcino embryonic antigen. Don't know what that means, but it means, do you have cancer? And it's supposed to be between 0 and 5. And when I first got the test, it was 6.36. The second test in Cleveland was 5.42. Not sure how or why it dropped, but could have been the difference between fasting and non-fasting or something. The next test was at 6.83. Then it went up to 8.77. And then just like the alpha fetoprotein, last time I got checked, it went down from 8.77 to 7.77. And now it's down to 6.58. So all my tumor markers are being released. Here, come here. Everybody thinks you're dead because you haven't been in any of my videos lately.
I'm not.
They think you left me.
Hi, guys.
She didn't leave me. See? She's right there.
Still here.
She's making me dinner, in fact.
Yeah.
We're having lasagna tonight and salad.
Yeah.
All right, you don't have to stay. I just wanted people to see you.
It's a mess.
I know. Shadow tried to jump on it in my last video. I had to yell at him. All right, so that's those updates on the protein markers. And then the other update is that I got a call back from the Cleveland Clinic. They are going to have me call my liver doctor probably tomorrow, once my CAT scans have been uploaded and they have a chance to review them. So I send my CAT scan images over to them. And just like I said last time, there's like a image reading specialist, right, that just reads x-rays and MRIs. That's all I do. And so the guy did it at Scripps. Well, it turns out when you send an image over to another hospital, they want their own guy to do their own. The doctor has a guy he trusts to read those images. So I sent them over yesterday. Once they get uploaded, which can take a day or two, then they're going to get reanalyzed and get more or the same details from it, from one of their analysts. And then after that, I'm going to schedule an appointment with my doctor, Dr. Kwan, at Cleveland Medical Clinic, and talk to him about whether it makes sense for me to do any more rounds of chemo, or if we should, schedule my flight into, Cleveland to get a PET scan. They want to do a PET scan there. So that's kind of like the last scan they'll do right before they get started, just to check the whole body, make sure they haven't missed anything. So they're going to do a PET scan there and then do the surgery. And so I'm supposed to call about that tomorrow. They gave me the scheduling number. And since I'm doing my chemo in California and my surgery in Cleveland, they don't do any of that coordination for you. That's all on you. So I have to make sure that I get all the documents from my Cleveland and send them over to, La Jolla or Encinitas Scripps Hospital. And then I have to make sure that I get everything from Scripps and send it back over to Cleveland. And I have to act as the middleman to make that communication happen so that I can get that worked out. So anyway, I'm on it. And I'll be scheduling that tomorrow. And who knows, we might get a tentative surgery date as early as tomorrow, or maybe he'll say that he wants to wait and see the MRI, which is probably the most likely thing for him to say before he makes any decisions, which will be on the 16th. And then I'll make a video and tell you what happened. But Pretty good news. I'm really happy about the tumor markers. I'm anxious to see if they start dropping very rapidly, which I've looked up like charts of people's tumor markers through chemo, and it seems like they do, kind of spike and then come down as fast as they went up. Um, Although, again, with the half life and the numbers that I have, it's going to take a while to come down, but they can come up, 75% in a 2 week period. So do that a few times and start getting into a reasonable range anyway. All right. Love you guys, except for you, who I'm talking to. And thanks for tuning in. And this one's only 11 minutes. Saved you some time out of your day. I'll try to get back to you. Hey, I'm feeling really good though for being right in the middle of my chemo session. I'm not like running around or anything. I'm mostly laying in bed, and I don't feel that great standing up and moving. But I think compared to previous weeks, I'm feeling better than I have before. So, and I only have one more round to do. This chemo stuff, it's not great, but it's doable. So do it. Bye. Don't do it if you don't have cancer. It ain't worth it. Bye.